Leo, is it difficult for kids to learn how to read in English? Because that is one of the great prejudices that there are.
I guess that we can make it very difficult or very natural and simple for the kids. It's true that English and Spanish are completely different because in Spanish we spell words as we read them, and where this is not the case in English. But it doesn't mean to say that there are no correspondences. So the key is to start from words which sound very similar in English and in Spanish. So, for instance, car would be a choice. And then to pass on to some other words which may be more different from that viewpoint. And there's a rule of thumb which we need to follow, is that the kids are ready to read those words which they can say quite naturally and whose concept they are familiar with. But if you take this into account and you make it meaningful, not a question of decoding letters into words and words into sentences,
of course.
then reading can be made fun for the kids. Oh, yes. So maybe what we can do is just see different examples to see how reading can be taught and developed with young children. Okay?
Fine.
Think of a toy that begins with R. Do you need a little help? Yes? I'm going to show 3 and you choose one, okay? Which one starts with a letter? I said, Patil?
Robot.
Robot. Thank you. Easy or difficult?
Easy.
Easy.
No sé.
Okay, easy. Because it's the first one. Let's see. If you know the answer, if you guess, you put your hand up. But you don't shout, okay? Ready. Steady go. What toy is it? Mika. Plane. Is it a plane?
Planet.
Yes. And how do we write it?
Planet. P.
Oh no, but how do we write it? ¿Cómo lo escribimos?
Plane.
Lo decimos plane.
Planet.
Pero ¿lo leemos plane?
No.
¿Cómo lo leemos?
Plane.
Plane. Why?
English.
Because it's English. Yes. It's English. Exactly. Very good. So,
La I y la A.
plane. Is this a plane?
No. El de arriba. No. El derecho.
Okay. Is Chan, 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 chan. Oops. Patil? Doll or ball? Which one? Where to see? Doll? Are you sure it's doll or ball? Doll. Good. Patil, come a minute. Come. Stick it below the doll. Wait a minute. Are you ready? Good. English is very easy like this. Like this. Yada. Yes. Good. And the last. Oh. Yes? Is it robot? Where? Ah. Yeah, robot. Come on, Matu. Use it. Yes. ready? Pay attention. We're going to sequence it and we're going to make it even more difficult. Mati, come here. Pay attention. Very difficult. I'm going to start. Number 1. A white and black ball. Wait. Here, Mati, here. Number two, a blue robot. But don't take the picture. The word now. Where does it say robot here? Okay. Next one. A white plane. But I don't want the picture, I want the word. Okay. Next one. A brown soft toy. Picture. Not word, picture. A red train, and I want the picture. A soft toy, and I want the word. A ball, and I want the word. A ball. And a car, I want the picture. Blue car, and I want the picture. And the doll. Okay. Easy, so easy. Now let's see. Camila, come. Is this correct? Yes, very good. So remember, we are going to match, okay? Match the pictures and the words. Very good. So let's see, Ari, come here. So, what is this? Where do you think the word apple is here? Very good. Excellent. Very good. Is this okay? Very good, Ari. Let's see. Saida. What is number 2, Saidi? Very good. And where is spaghetti here? Very good. Is this okay? Yes. Very good. Excellent. Evelyn? Number 5. What is number 5?
Fish.
Fish. Oh, where is fish? You get there? You get? Very good. Okay. Very good. Excellent.
Okay, so we've seen different examples, and the kids actually liked the activities.
Yes,
They were challenging.
They did,
Yes.
very much.
And as you saw, the teacher first focused on the first letter, and the kids produced the word quite naturally. They didn't have any problem. The idea is, for instance, when the kids had it out, with when one of the teachers asked them, okay, give me a word that starts with R, they didn't know. And so the idea is not to give them the answer, but to challenge them into finding the answer. So with the 3 pictures, they immediately realized, oh yes, robot.
Yes, true.
And the idea is that then you can create this gap, this first letter or last letter awareness by, again, in the form of play, when she showed the first letter or the last letters and then parts of the words. Because actually this is what happens. We're preparing kids for life. Right. Because sometimes we don't get to see the whole word, but we see part of it and we fill in the blanks, so to speak.
Yes.
So as you can see, developing reading can be fun for the kids.
Why is it necessary to do this?
Well, because we want our children to be competent readers. When we go out into the streets, we see maybe signs, but we cannot read the whole of it. So we, as Leona said, we fill in those blanks in order to understand what they say. That's exactly what we want children to do in our classes, to be able to fill in those blanks, and so they can understand that concept that is behind that word or that sequence of letters that we have.
And something else to bear in mind is, we can have several activities in which we can combine the written word and the images. And the important thing is always to have the image present,
Yep.
because that would be the concepts, and that it's easier for the kids at the beginning to have first the concept because they identify the word, and then it's easier for them to find the written form. And we can increase the level of difficulty
Letters.
as, for instance, you had the activity, sequencing the pictures and the written word.
Right, yep.
So again, you change the level of challenge and you make it more difficult but challenging for the kids. And the idea, we shouldn't forget that, reading instructions, actually, as we saw in the other module, that's a source of reading as well.
And I saw a kid saying plane
Yeah.
instead of plane. Yes. And what about that? How do you handle it?
Well, yes, actually, it is fantastic because that's the way the child would sound it out in his mind when he writes the word. And so, if the child knows that that is pronounced differently in English and he knows the difference between one and the other, then he's on the right track.
So the key points when teaching reading is we have to start from similarities between English and Spanish. So I don't think we would start with a word that begins with an H in English. And actually, something that I should have said before, we need to focus on one lexical set. And the kids should be aware of this.
Ah, yes, true.
Because if they see the word that begins with B, it could be at this level, ball, blue, black, could be any word beginning with a B. So we should reduce the lexical set to one. And we should only teach the kids to read the words they are familiar with. And we have to make it meaningful,
of course.
as in every case.